Welcome to this edition of Tornado Watch. I'm King Sports Information Director Travis Chell here with head women's basketball coach Josh Thompson. How you doing this morning?
Good. How are you, Travis?
Good. Doing well. Last week went 1-1, a good road win at Mount Olive, followed up by a tough home loss to Barton. Talk about what went well in the Mount Olive game to bounce back from a loss last week.
That was a big game for us on the road. I think, our bench played really well in that game. That was a key for us. I think we had 41 points off the bench. They really came in and gave us some energy that we obviously needed. We were able to score the basketball. We were able to do some things defensively to limit Mount Olive, and they're a really good team, and that was a great road win for us. So.
And then you followed that. You were in a close game here, almost had it at the end, and it kind of slipped away against Barton.
Yeah, they're another great team. It's a really tough stretch of our schedule. Getting Mount Olive on the road, Barton here at home, and then we're gonna have our next game on the road against Limestone. All probably three of the top teams in our conference. Barton was a tough game. They played well. Probably the best player in the conference, Naisha Willie, had a great game. I thought at times we did some good things to make things difficult for her. But she still had 39 and had some big baskets down the stretch and really finished out for them. And on the flip side, we just didn't really finish out the game that well. I think 4 for 8 from the free throw line in the last 3 minutes. A couple key defensive rebounds that we could have secured and we didn't, which led to scores for them. And a couple plays that maybe we could have made on the offensive end, and maybe it's a different story, who knows. But we've definitely got to learn to finish games better than we're doing right now.
Yeah, what's the first step to that? What do you need to try to work on in practice to try and close those close games out?
Well, I think the big thing is, there's some physical things as far as missing free throws, and if we can just really point that out to players, hopefully they can take pride in it, and we can do things in practice, but also just challenge them to work on it more outside of practice on their own, because that's an area that I feel like we're underachieving right now. I think we're shooting 67% from the free throw line, and our goal as a team coming into this year is 75%, and I know that we can do better, so hopefully we can improve there. And other than that, I think the film can really help us as far as going back and showing players where we can be better, and hopefully them learning from that.
Yeah. You mentioned the bench earlier. One of the players that has played really well since the break and last week was Alley Sprouse. Both offensively and defensively had 5 blocks last week and averaged 13 points a game. Talk about what that means to the team and how that helps the second team and I guess the first team as well.
Well, Allie's doing really well, and I think she was a starter the first 2 years, her freshman and sophomore year, and I think coming off the bench this year has taken some pressure off of her and really allowed her to just develop and gain confidence. And she's playing really well against Barton. They really tried to pressure us, and there was a lot of room inside where she could go to work, and our post players haven't had a lot of that. We've had a lot of teams really collapse on us in the post, and so she was able to do some good things, and obviously we're happy with that. And then what she brings to the table defensively, she's always been able to block shots and clear the glass for us, so she's continuing to do that. So hopefully she just continues to gain confidence. That obviously helps the second team when they're coming off the bench for us. On both ends, and in practice every day, just challenging the starters. So. Yeah,
another thing that I've noticed here lately and throughout the year, you've been subbing 5 in, 5 out, kind of 2 separate teams. What are some of the benefits to that, and does that kind of hurt towards the end of the game if you don't have one go-to player, if you're in a tight game that you can go to and say, hey, get us a bucket here?
Yeah, I don't think it hurts us at the end of the game, as far as what we are trying to get across to the players is we've got a lot of players that can play, so we figure why should we leave good players on the bench, and we really want them to learn how to play hard on both ends of the floor, offensively and defensively, and we're trying to do that by keeping them as fresh as possible when they're out on the court. And so hopefully we're learning, and I think that we can still learn to play harder. And that's really the benefit to that. And when we feel like we're deep enough to do that, without really any fall off as far as what we're trying to do. And I think it makes us tougher as far as even end game is, no, we may not have one player that we're definitely going to go to. I mean, we feel like we have multiple players that we can go to if we need to. And also we feel like that makes it harder to prepare for us, harder to guard us in those situations, that anybody can really step up and get it done there. So.
Okay, looking forward this week. You mentioned you played Limestone, who was preseason ranked top 25 in the country on Wednesday night. What are some of the keys to that game to come out on the winning side?
Well, like always, like I mentioned before, is that we've got to come ready to play, and we've got to play hard. I mean, both of us are coming off of losses, tough conference losses. Us to Barton, they've just lost to Belmont Abbey. So right now you've got I think a three-way tie for first place, and then a bunch of other teams tied in that fourth spot at 3-2 where we're at. But both teams should be hungry coming off of tough conference losses, both at home. It's really going to go to the team that wants it more, the team that plays harder. So hopefully we're ready to play hard. Yeah,
it should be a good one on Wednesday, and then you follow that at Converse too on Saturday. So a busy road week.
Yep, definitely on the road. It'll be tough. Both games will be tough. So hopefully we'll be ready to go.
All right, thank you and good luck this week.
All right, thanks.